Miss Olandula-Joye, according to your complaint, you live in an apartment.
I do.
The defendant owns a contracting company, painting contracting company, and his company painted the complex where you live. You came home one evening, there were no wet paint signs out, and some of your clothing was damaged.
That's correct.
In addition to the value of the property that was ruined, which was several $100s, you're suing the defendant for $5,000 because you claim that as a result of your not having your property because there was paint on it, you became ill, you got a cold, you got a pneumonia, and you want him to be responsible for all of your illness as a result of not having your coat, right? That's what you say.
That's what I said. But what I want him to be responsible for is for their actions.
Well, responsible for the actions means paying for the property. It doesn't mean paying your foolishness if you don't go out and put on a sweater, madam. You understand that?
I do.
Good. Well, I'm glad we understand that right now. I'm not entertaining that part of your lawsuit which seeks reimbursement for your cold or sore throat.
No problem.
If you're cold, good, you put on a sweater. Either with or without paint. Okay, when did this happen?
December 16th, a year ago.
When were you first notified, sir, that there was damage to her property?
We received a letter in which she pointed out what had happened. The exact date, I don't know. We could not find the letter, but it was, to my recollection, it was sometime in springtime, I believe, when we finally did receive the letter. There was no return address and no telephone number for us to contact her.
That seems sort of irresponsible of her to send you a letter of complaint without giving you an inkling about how she could be contacted, sir, so I tend to disbelieve that.
Okay.
Since you don't have the letter, I tend to disbelieve that this very intelligent young woman would just write you a kvetch letter so that it would make her feel better. What she was doing is saying, I want to be reimbursed for my property. I tried to have it cleaned, which you say you did, couldn't be cleaned, and I want you to reimburse me for the property if you can find me. You got it? Okay.
Yes.
You have a copy of the letter?
Yes, I do.
Come may I see it, please? It's a copy of the letter that you cannot produce since there was no way of contacting her. You did nothing.
She contacted us.
But you did nothing.
We did nothing.
And then she contacted you again, right?
Yes.
What did you do in response?
I said that I would, when I had time, I would come by and look at the articles of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. We were in the process of a reorganization, and I am now in a different company.
So you didn't do as you said you would do, which was to come over and take a look at the damaged goods.
I didn't. Someone else did.
When?
Shortly thereafter, perhaps a month or so, I'm not sure, Your Honor, that Mr. Stephen Gelly, who I've brought as a witness, did go to her home and did pick up the coats.
Had she called you between the time you said you would go over and by the time Mr. Stephen Gelly went over, had she called you again?
I believe she called one more time. I was not in.
She called one more time, probably at least, because she was frustrated because although you said you would go over there, you never did. Then she called
correct.
again, and she got Mr. Stephen Gelly. So now she's really frustrated. She writes you a letter to which you do not respond. She calls you, you say, I'll be over. You don't come over. She waits to hear from you, she doesn't hear from you. She calls you again, and finally you send somebody else over. So you understand the frustration. That's not very good business, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Stephen Gelly goes over there, and according to what I've read in the complaint, you took her coats. Is that right?
Correct.
Step up. Now, on what date did you go over there?
I believe it was in May.
May.
It was in August. It was in August.
Was it that late? I knew it was in the warmer part of the year.
Okay. So you went over in August. He comes over and he gets the coats. And what did you do with the coats, sir?
Well, what I was going to do was the nylon...
No, don't tell me what you were going to do. What did you do?
Oh, I had a conversation with the plaintiff.
Yes, and you said you were going to take the coats and see if you could get them what?
This particular one, these did not look like they could be cleaned because they're a soft material, whereas this is a nylon shell, so it looked like it could be cleaned. We tried, and just as she had, it was not, we were not able to clean them. The letter that she had, it was actually, I think, a fax that she had sent over as opposed to a letter. That was the first time I had seen it, was in August.
She sent you a fax. She sent you a fax.
Is that what it was?
Copy of which I have.
Right. And I asked her how much she thought the articles were worth, and she gave me the letter, and I read through it, and I'm going by memory. Again, I believe this one was $250, or $275, $250, and $200 for the sweater. And I don't know value of clothing, but the sweater itself was a Cambridge Classic, which I think is a standard brand from Mervyn's.
After you ascertained what you thought might be the value of the property,
Well,
what did you do?
I wasn't able to ascertain it because...
So what did you do?
At that
After you
point,
weren't able to ascertain the value, what did you do?
there was nothing
Did
to
you
do.
call her?
No.
You didn't call her?
No.
As a
This-
matter-
Shh. Did somebody else call her?
No, I was still in the process of trying to ascertain what the value was.
How long did that take you?
Maybe a couple weeks that I had the clothing from the time that I first talked to her.
Okay, so you had the clothing for a couple of weeks. You're still trying to ascertain, and what happened?
She called me on probably a Wednesday, middle of the week, and said she would like to get this resolved. She was going on a trip. At that point, I didn't have an answer for her as to what the value was. The following Monday, she came into the office, and I think it was a Monday, and demanded that she talk to me right then. The secretary called me on a cell phone and said that she was there and wanted to talk to me. She left this on my voicemail. I called back when I got the message, and the plaintiff had left, and I subsequently had a voicemail from her. She was very, very angry.
Understandably.
And
I waited in the office for 45 minutes.
Understandably very angry.
yeah,
I want to know when somebody called her after she's made numerous attempts at contact. She has sent you a fax dated December 16th. She has called repeatedly and gotten absolutely no satisfaction. When, for the first time, did you call and make her an offer with regard to her jackets?
there was no offer made.
Why is that?
After she had left the office, like I said, the voicemail that I had gotten was very, very angry. She said, "This is not going to go down easy for you. I'm going to make this very difficult for you." At that point, I contacted the office. I said, "I'm not going to be able to ascertain the value of this. Go ahead and return her items, and I think the best thing to do is litigate this." Because
Bad business.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Iodiji Oladunjoye says her clothes were ruined due to the negligence of painters working at her apartment complex. Bill McCracken, painting company president, says his men were not at fault.
Can I see the coats, please? I'm just trying to see the paint
No,
on
it's
this.
on the inside of the coat.
How did it get on the inside of the coat?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, who was wearing the coat?
I was wearing the coat and the sweater.
Who was wearing this?
My boyfriend was.
Where is he?
He's in the Navy. Can I finally say something, please?
Sure.
This has been going on for almost 8 months. If I really, really was bothered about the money, this was not about the money. But you don't just come to my house, promise me you're going to take care of my jackets, and deprive me of my property for almost 3 months with no call or anything like that. That's very bad business, and you stand here and want to criticize me.
Don't talk to him. Didn't I say that to him?
I'm sorry.
Somebody came to your house, a very nice gentleman came to your house, he takes your property, you don't hear from him for weeks.
That's stealing, actually.
No, it's not stealing. Don't make a, listen, just like your cold isn't their problem,
Well,
your sore throat isn't their problem,
I think you should
because
do
there's
that.
nothing preventing you from wearing this
Not
jacket.
if they have the jackets. They
Just
did
listen-
have the jackets with
Listen
them.
to me, Adam. You gave them the jackets.
I did.
Listen carefully to me. You gave them the jackets. You could have just as easily said to him, you may look at it and see the paint,
I was
but I
naive.
do not have another winter jacket. I do not have anything else to keep me warm. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
I was
That's
naive.
not being-
He told me he was going to be back the next day.
there is
Yeah.
not a naive bone in your body.
There.
You're
You'll
a
be
very
surprised.
smart lady. But they engaged in business practices that are very, very stupid. The jacket clearly is an 80% down jacket. You estimate its value at approximately $250, which is very possible.
It is.
Which is very possible. This jacket is not worth $250, your boyfriend's jacket.
Okay.
Would you agree or disagree with that? Take a look. Would you pay $250 for that jacket?
Not now. He will.
Not in this world.
Not in this world.
No.
Me neither. Shopping is something I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
then you can help.
So I would estimate that the value of this property, even new, would be no more than $350. And you are suing for substantially more than that, in addition to everything else, a little bit of aggravation. I think you're entitled to something for your aggravation, because I really believe that a merchant or a contractor has an obligation to respond immediately to a complaint and not allow a frustrating circumstance to continue, because there isn't a question in my mind that while these folks went about their business as they should have and conducted their contracting business and whatever else they had to do, every time you saw these clothes in your closet, you were aggravated because in your eyes you were being disrespected by these people because they were totally ignoring you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Claims she stole.
According to your complaint, the defendant with whom you became involved moved into your home.
Yes.
And there was a time during that period that she was in financial difficulty, according to you, and you loaned her $2,000 in two $1,000 checks.
Yes.
And then you went away on a business trip, traveled out of the country or out of the jurisdiction on business. She remained in your home.
Yes.
And then she contacted you and told you that since this was a new home that you had, she had a friend who was moving and had a whole house full of furniture that she thought would be wonderful in your house, and you sent her another check for $1,000 for that furniture.
Yes.
You came home from your business trip and you found no furniture in the house.
That's correct.
Then the relationship ended and she moved out.
Yes.
You want your money back.
Yes.
Ms. Taylor, on the other hand, said that you told her she should move in with you, you would fully support her. You sent her $1,000. Furniture came, it didn't look good in the house, so she sold it to her daughter for $600, and she gave you the check for $600. When did Miss Taylor move into your home?
She moved into my home in May, the night before I left to fly to Japan.
And under what circumstances did she move into the house?
She came to me and asked to borrow money.
What did she need the money for?
She said she needed it because she was going to school and having some financial difficulties. So I gave her the first check, which was $25.86 for $1,000, and on it in my handwriting when I gave it to her was personal loan.
I see it.
And then the second check is for the...
Personal loan was never on that check.
Just a second.
He has written that in.
No, that was on the check when I
No,
gave that
no.
to
Just
her.
a second, madam. I didn't ask you to interrupt. So you gave her these two checks, one
Yes.
April 24th, and then you sent her another check from
Yes,
Japan?
she requested for additional money by email, and I
Do you have the email?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please?
And then there was a further email where she had mentioned
Well,
that
let
she
me
had
read this one, sir.
Okay. The highlighted parts. The highlighted parts.
Yeah, well, you don't mind if I read the whole thing, do you?
No, go right ahead.
You said you had another email, sir?
Yes, she mentioned the fact that when I loaned her the money that she had a lawsuit that she would be...
Well, that I want to see, because so far...
No.
Because she said she will repay me in the at the bottom.
Let me just read it, sir.
With benefits.
She doesn't say anything about a loan here, sir.
Well, it's talking there about receiving her lawsuit, and I would reap
Just
the
a minute.
benefits in the bottom part of that. That's kind of reading between the lines.
Very much so.
Okay. Now, what I'd like you to do, sir, is tell me about this furniture. How much did you send her
I
for the
sent her a
furniture?
check for $1,000.
And you don't deny that you received that check. That was
No.
a third check for $1,000.
Correct.
So what'd you do?
What
What'd
did
you
I
do? Yeah, what'd
Okay,
you do?
my friend was moving to the East Coast. She had just bought some brand new furniture in February, and she was going to be moving in the 1st of September. And I knew Graham needed some furniture in his house, so I emailed him and asked him if he wanted it. He said, yeah, go ahead and get it. And so I did. But then I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, and I did ask him, are you sure this is what really
Don't
is?
give me your whole big story, madam. He sent you $1,000 for furniture.
Okay.
Does he have his $1,000 back, or does he have the furniture?
It wasn't $1,000 for the furniture. He gave me extra.
You sent her other money?
Yes.
That's important.
Yes, I
Did you
have.
send her other money?
Yes, I sent her a check for $500 dated July 15th. I did another check for $500
Can I see that, please?
dated
Can I see those?
August 1st.
That is very important, Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Your Honor, one thing you need to know is I was paying half of the rent at my apartment. I have a lease there until January. My daughter offered to pay half of the rent to
Is
stay
your daughter
there.
living in your apartment?
She,
Just as the answer is yes or no?
Yes, my daughter's
Good.
living there. She paid half the rent.
Well, she should have paid the whole rent if she was living there. She should have paid the whole rent.
Well, in some 1 month she did.
Good. So stop giving me baloney. So we did send you other money just to live. Is that right?
Yes.
July 500, 15th, August 1st, 500, August 28th, 500. And you're not even asking for this back.
No, that's not an issue before this court.
Oh, Your Honor, he has another lawsuit going on there.
Not an issue before this
Yes.
court.
Oh, are you suing us someplace else for this
Yes.
money?
Yes,
for,
he
for the
is.
other money, yes.
Where?
In Vancouver, Washington, small claims court.
Really?
Yes.
And I did not
Well,
count it.
shh. Under what theory are you suing her for this money in the small claims court?
Well, I have other witnesses, but
What theory, sir?
that she has told somebody else that I was generously loaning the money to her while she was living in my house and going to school.
Are you telling me, sir, that these were loans also?
Yes.
No, Your Honor.
Shh. Hey, quiet. I would suggest, sir, you reissue your summons in that case. I'm dismissing this case without prejudice. You don't go to 2 different courts and waste 2 different courts' time, sir. What you do is you bring one lawsuit. You don't bring people to court 2 different days. That's absolutely ridiculous. Your case is dismissed without prejudice. We will reinstate it so that you can appear in your own jurisdiction. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. Have seats, please.
Mr. Majeski, according to what I've read, sir, you and the defendant were involved in a relationship, lived together in various places, and the 2 of you rented a storage unit, right?
Correct.
The storage unit was in her name.
Correct.
And when you ultimately broke up, you took your stuff out of the storage unit.
Yes.
But you asked to keep the storage unit because you still had stuff there.
Right.
And the agreement was you were supposed to make the payments on the storage unit because she didn't have any stuff there anymore, right?
Right.
Then, according to you, you started to receive delinquent notices from the storage unit.
About 3 months after I left and went back to my mother's house, I was receiving delinquent notices that the rent hasn't been paid, and I was
On the
not-
storage unit?
Yeah, on the storage unit. I called him numerous times asking him to pay this off, and he, oh, I'll do it, I'll do it.
Does that have a ring to it, sir?
Yes.
So you went to the storage unit and you cleaned it out.
Yes. No, I didn't clear it out. I took what I could take or what I thought would be the amount that he owed me. I had my cousin's boyfriend's
What do you mean the
truck.
amount he owed you? What is
For
that
the
mean?
for the storage shed, about the $100. I rounded it up to 100. I got $80 that he owed.
Did you pay for the storage unit?
No, I didn't.
So what did he owe you money for?
I wanted to take this as collateral to know that he would pay off the storage shed.
What did you take with you?
A couple lamps, a microwave, a kitchen set, and there was a couple of miscellaneous boxes with miscellaneous stuff in it.
Okay, what was left?
Everything else that was in his storage shed. Everything else.
And what did you do when you left the storage shed?
I shut it back up and locked it. And then I left.
Ultimately, you went to the storage unit and found it emptied out.
Yes.
And you were still, at that point, delinquent in payments.
Yes.
So the question is, what happened to the rest of his stuff?
I don't know.
Well, let me see the police report. What proof do you have that she took all your stuff?
Because some of the stuff that she gave back were in different boxes, all little figurines and stuff from Las Vegas that my mom had given me. They were all in different boxes. She took the vacuum cleaner that I did not get back yet. I seen in her apartment, and a couple other odd items.
What do you want to say? You could stand up. Go ahead.
Tracy had said that she only wanted the $100, take $100 worth. Well, just what she mentioned was well over $100 worth.
He got it back.
Not all of it.
Got back most of it. You have his vacuum cleaner?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. We've seen it in there.
You have any other stuff that belongs to him?
No, I don't. And I would like to point out that on August 26th of this year, my witness, Mark, was at a bar downtown in St. Cloud. And Chris approached Mark in the bar. Can I have him come up?
I assume you have something to say. You're Mark.
Hi, yes, I'm Mark.
Go ahead.
Chris had noticed me up on stage in a bar. I was doing some dancing. He came up to me and he said, "Mark, I'm sorry for everything that's going on. I dropped the case because I don't think Tracy has my stuff anymore. I think has it, which is another guy I don't know. I have no idea who he is."
Who's?
This is another friend that I suspected him and her taking it
So
because
first you thought it was somebody else that
Yes.
took your property.
I thought it was.
Hmm?
Yes, I have.
And how did you retrieve the rest of your stuff? The stuff that she had in her apartment?
She later on gave it to my mom, but the vacuum cleaner's still not there, and it wasn't in the
Stop with the
apartment.
vacuum cleaner. What did she give back to your mom?
A microwave, bookshelf, dresser, a box of like a few movies, little odd things, kitchen utensils, and that's about it.
Did you need a little truck to go and get the stuff?
Yeah, the dresser was big.
So she gave that back to your mom. Good. And she called you and she said, "This is the time you can come pick it up"?
The police called, but there wasn't everything in there that was supposed to take it.
Well, we don't know that she took it, madam. That's your problem.
Well, I
Your
was
son
in
was
her
not
apart-
responsible. Your son was not responsible in making the payments as he should have. Did you know he was supposed to make payments on this storage unit?
He is of age, and that I guess that was none of my business. Who
Good. You're absolutely right. Have a seat. Now I'm going to hear about your counterclaim, and I want to hear about it quickly.
After our mutual friend showed up at our apartment that day,
Which mutual friend?
Erica,
Yeah?
I was laying on my couch. I was about 6 months pregnant. This was in November. I was about 6 months pregnant.
November of '99?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mark had left to go to work, and he locked the door every morning. Every morning I went onto the couch because it was easier for me to sleep on the couch. I heard him lock the door that morning. I was awake. Then I fell back asleep. About 10 o'clock, I woke up and I heard somebody calling my name. And at first, I thought it was maybe an older woman in our apartment that needed my help. And I'm like, no, the door is locked. And I woke up and I saw Chris standing in my dining room, and I saw his mom off in my little hallway area. And I woke up and I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. And I asked them, like, how did you guys get in my apartment? And they're like, you know why we're here. And I'm like, you guys need to leave my apartment. And they weren't leaving. I was yelling at the top of my lungs for them to leave. In the meantime, Chris is walking around my apartment, just helping himself in. I told them to leave again. They would not leave. I got frustrated. I walked out of my apartment, and that's when they exited my apartment. I walked down to the caretaker's apartment building, paged Mark with the labor code so he knew to come home right away, and called the cops.
Let me see the police report.
I called the cops.
They wouldn't give me a police report. They said that it was hearsay, that he said the door was unlocked, and I know the door was locked.
Just a second.
And they
Just a
said
second.
it was hearsay.
You acknowledged that you and your mother went to the apartment. What were you doing there in November?
November,
Yeah.
when I got my stuff back.
No, in November, when you and your mom went to her house.
We didn't go to her house in November.
When did you go to her house?
This was just this year that we went. I finally found my stuff back this year. It was way more than 6 months, Your Honor.
Just a second. It was more than 6 months.
Yes.
So your stuff stayed in her house even longer than you said.
As far as I can remember.
So you, just a minute, according to you, your stuff stayed in her house even longer than 6 months.
Yes.
Well, what'd you wait so long for,
You
sir?
didn't know she had it.
Shh! What'd you wait so long for?
I didn't know she had it, Your Honor.
Just a second. You made a police report in March of 1999. Now you're telling me that it wasn't until 2000 that you went to her house to get your stuff back.
No, the police report, Your Honor, was the only police report I have is from the day it was stolen from the storage shed.
No. You don't know the day it was stolen from the storage
Well,
shed.
the day I found
The day
out.
you found it, which was in March of 1999. So in March of 1999, if you believe stuff is stolen from your storage shed, you go to the police and you say, I believe I know the person who did it. In March of 99, they will go to her house and say, do you have her property? You ask for an escort. You didn't go in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. According to you, you didn't go until the year 2000 sometime, which is at least 10 or 11 months later. Why?
Because I didn't know she had it, Your Honor. I suspected her and Josh, and I didn't know it was her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christopher Majeski says ex-girlfriend Tracy Yamry stole his belongings out of a storage shed.
How did you get into the house?
We knocked on the door, and we opened the door. My mom called her name and walked in. There was
You
no...
can't do that. You can't do that.
Tracy said yes. She pretty much invited us in. She said
No,
yes.
now you're lying, sir.
No. That's
Now
what
you're
happened.
lying.
She said yes. She replied.
I don't believe you.
Well, she said.
I don't believe you.
And we knocked
You
on the
mean
door,
after
called her
10
name, and
months,
she replied.
after 10 months, you arrive at her house with your mother, and what you said was, put your hand down. You knocked at the door, and the door was open, so you walked in. That's what you said. That's what you said.
police officers
You
looked at the door.
can't do that.
The police officers agreed that there was no forced entry, nothing was wrong.
It doesn't have to be a forced entry. I didn't say there was a forced entry. You mean if somebody comes to my door, knocks at my door, which happens to be open, and I choose not to respond, that person who's knocking at my door has a right to walk into my house?
She
Is that what
responded,
yours?
Your Honor.
No, you
Yes.
just made that up.
No, she
You just
responded-
made that
she-
up
she
because
responded by
first,
saying yes.
no, it's not true.
She even said it. She said, yes, who is it? You know, she thought it was somebody else, and she replied yes. Like, question like, yes, who is it?
Yes. Oh, like yes, who is it? Okay, yes, who is it? And what did you say?
We just walked in. My mom
Then you
started
just
talking
walked
to
in. Why didn't you answer? You mean to tell me
Look, Your
because
Honor.
somebody says yes, who is it, you're entitled to walk in?
We called the police, and they couldn't do nothing for us. What else was I supposed
Your
to do?
case is
to keep
dismissed,
myself?
sir. You're full of baloney. As far as you
What?
breaking and entering, I'm awarding you $1. This is a long time ago, madam.
Thank
right?
you.
You understand? You get $1 on your counterclaim. You get Zippo.
Old mold setter Chrissy Settle is suing her brother, 24-year-old factory worker Gary Hamrick, for an unpaid loan and a wrecked Buick.
Miss Sentel, the defendant is your brother.
Yes, Your
And there are several parts of your complaint. Let's deal with the easy ones first. There was a time when your brother was living with you. When was that?
June through September.
Of this year?
Yes.
And you claim that during that time, he borrowed some money. You didn't specify how much, that he hasn't paid you back. And you also said that when he left in September, there was a substantial phone bill
Yes,
that
Your Honor.
was left unpaid. So let's deal with that first, and then we'll get to the big part of your claim.
Okay.
How much money did you loan to him and when?
I lent him $403 September 5th. He
For
did
what?
A vehicle payment, his Blazer. He told me that if he didn't get this payment, then he would lose the Blazer, and I didn't want him to lose the Blazer, so I gave him the $403.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Did you pay her back?
I paid her back $200 right off the back, and then I paid the other half of that back in the beginning of September. She claims she didn't receive it. There was a very big confusion. We had a county fair going on at the time. The date that I was supposed to pay her back, that she had some paperwork she was supposed to give me to take it to the bank, it wasn't there. That evening, I went to the fair looking for her, and I gave them, because my son was with her at an event. I put the money in his coat because she needed the coat for him. I wanted to make sure she got the money.
Just a minute. You put cash in your son's coat?
That is correct. I was supposed to take the coat up to her.
Yes.
Getting into the event, I could not find them, and I gave it to a mutual friend of ours to give to her. The next morning, talking to her, she claimed she did not receive the money.
Well, so then you didn't give her the money. You never gave her that extra $203. Is that what you say you put in the coat pocket in
Yes,
cash?
well, that, and it was a total of $220-some in there. A total of 220-some.
228, Your Honor. I had lent him $25 previous for some cash for gas and that for the Blazer. And so he was supposed to put the $228 in the bank. We were busy at the fair and that.
Whatever.
Right.
You don't put cash in a coat pocket and then give the coat pocket to one person to give it to your sister at a fair when everybody's very busy. So she didn't receive the money and you never actually handed it to her, so she never got it. So you didn't pay her back.
Well, I did put it in there and I did send it, but she must not have received it as she claims.
So that's $228. And what about the phone bill?
The phone bill, Your Honor, I've got right here, and I've got summed up to $242.08.
Show it to him, please.
I've never received this before.
Right. I had spoke to him about it, Your Honor. There are, I told him that there was a phone bill. He agreed. I told him there was a couple calls on there that added up to, one phone call was like $99, $98, and he agreed to it. He knew it. He said, fine, I'll do what I can do. He hasn't been
I told her I
able to
wanted
do
to look
that.
at the bill first.
Well, so now take a look at it, sir.
Okay. At this time, it's hard for me to tell you exactly how many of these calls are mine.
Well, this is the time. Now let me have the bill, please. Now let's hear about the big part of this, which is a car. according to you, your brother wanted a car that you had. You agreed to sell him the car for $1,000.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
What'd you need another car for? You had a Blazer.
Correct. I was going out of town, and after the Buick was wrecked, they went back on their word, said they did not want to sell it to us. They were going to take the money.
You agreed to purchase the Buick from your sister for $1,000.
Total of $1,000.
Your sister says she did not transfer title to you
Correct.
because you hadn't started making the payments yet.
Correct.
Is that right?
That is correct.
But she let you use the car.
Correct.
She says with the understanding that until you had your own insurance, you were the only one who was going to drive the car.
Not true.
Your Honor, that is true. I called him from work.
That is not true.
I told my husband and my mother.
I don't want to hear your husband and your mother.
Sorry.
Husband and your mother has nothing to do with him.
I called him while I was at work. I called him while he was at home. That weekend, he told me that he was going to buy the Buick for her, which at that time he was getting ready to leave town and move to Michigan with this other girl. Okay? So he wanted to buy this Buick for her. I told him, fine. Nobody else drives it but you. You're covered. She is not. You make sure you get insurance. He said, I'll do that first thing Monday morning. I said, fine, that's great. Nobody else drives it. He said, okay, I got it.
Not true.
Shh, 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 shh. Mr. Hamrick, you'll have an opportunity, sir. Go ahead.
And he knew that because he was driving it before. He was covered.
They knew I was leaving town. They knew that Heather needed the vehicle to drive to work. They knew she was driving it.
Who's
they?
They?
Gave me. I never discussed with my brother-in-law. I did all talking with my sister.
Oh,
she did know. She did know that Heather was driving it.
The lawsuit says while he was using the car, he let his girlfriend drive the car.
Correct.
She was in an accident where the car was damaged, impounded,
Yes.
and she was hospitalized. For how long were you hospitalized?
I just went to the emergency room.
They picked her up by ambulance.
I asked her a question.
Sorry.
She can talk. What kind of damage was done to the car?
Your Honor, I've got a bill here and some photos.
Can I see it, please?
Yes. Now, they spoke with my husband.
You know what? I don't care
Okay.
what they said with your husband. All right, so let's see. So somebody hit you in the rear,
No, it was just me in the accident.
but you do have insurance.
Yes, Your Honor, I do. And
Okay.
I've got a statement here for that also.
I'd like to see the statement.
Your
No.
Honor, I also have a copy of her medical bills from the accident.
I had,
too.
So what does that have to do with this case?
Well, like you said, they're carrying the insurance on it. The medical should have covered her medical bills for that. There was no disagreement about her driving the car.
Your Honor,
no
it's on
Just a
this
second. Does she have her own insurance?
Yes.
She was in an accident with nobody else but herself. Why didn't she pay her own medical bills?
Because there was medical insurance on the car at the time that they knew she was driving it, and that was the same day that was agreed upon that I would put insurance on the car. Knowingly that she was driving it, they kept their insurance on it till I put my insurance on it.
Well, you didn't understand what I'm saying to you. She was in an accident all by herself, which means the accident was totally her fault.
Correct.
Why should your sister have her insurance pay for her medical bills when there is a possibility if she does that, her insurance premiums will go up as a result of her negligence? Let her pay her own medical bills. She had the accident. She caused the accident. She should pay her own medical bills. Now your sister is out, her car, and $1,000.
Which didn't have to be.
Shh, just a minute. Who should pay for that?
I should have paid for the car
Good.
as originally agreed.
Good.
Only.
That's what you're going to pay. $1,000 to the car because you let El girlfriend over here drive it. Your girlfriend's going to pay for her own medical bills because she had the accident. She drove herself into a ditch. And you're going to pay $475 that you owe your sister for your phone bill and for the remaining cash that you put in the coat pocket and gave to some clown at a fair.
That doesn't total up to $475, Your Honor.
Oh, it does to me, sir. It does to me.
You're
phone
adding the
bill,
cash on top
phone
of that?
bill, and $228. $475 plus $1,000.
Okay.
$1,475. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Mrs. Powell, which of these two young ladies is your daughter?
Carrie in the blue.
Step up, please. Carrie? Carrie, you were attacked by two dogs.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of dogs were they?
They were pit bulls.
Were you alone?
Yes, ma'am. I was going to visit a friend.
And what happened?
I was on the left-hand side of the street.
And I looked around the neighborhood to check for dogs, you know, because I'm in a strange neighborhood and I don't really know. And all of a sudden, these dogs just ran out of the yard and attacked me. And I screamed and yelled until somebody finally came out.
Who came out?
It was a man that probably lived right across Caddy Corner from where the dogs were.
And what did he do?
He threw something at the dogs, and they ran off. And he took me into his house and wrapped my arm.
Were you bitten by the dogs?
Yes, ma'am.
After he wrapped something around your arms, what did you do?
He didn't have a telephone in his house, so we walked across, probably past one house, into the next yard and used another neighbor's phone. And she phoned my mother. She phoned the police first, but they couldn't do anything, so she phoned my mother.
I was called. I had just returned home from a doctor's appointment and received a call from the lady, and she asked me to come and get my daughter because she had been attacked by 2 pit bulls.
And when you saw your daughter, describe what you saw.
She was bleeding, and she was crying, and I got nervous, and she had blood all over her, and I brought the coat to show that she had on that the dogs attacked, and it still has the blood stains and
Let me see.
and the tears. It's on the sleeves and the inseam.
Did you go to the hospital?
Yes, I took her. I called my husband and told him to meet me at Methodist Hospital, and I took her to the emergency room.
Do you have the report?
Yes.
I'd like to see it, please.
And also brought pictures of their house to show they don't have a fence around their house. Yeah, and I also brought a copy of the animal controls report.
I'd like to see it. Now, you folks are the owners of the dogs?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were not at home when this occurred?
No, we were both at work.
How long have you had the dogs?
Since birth.
4 years.
4 years.
I read that your dogs did not have their vaccinations. Why not?
Because basically we keep the dogs in the house.
In the house,
Or in
outside
the-
of the house? They were outside of the house. That's why you're supposed to
And
have
we
them
also-
inoculated.
Pardon me?
That's why you're supposed to get them inoculated. That's the law, isn't it?
Yes.
The law is that they're supposed to be vaccinated every year for rabies, right?
Right.
When was the last time you had them inoculated for rabies?
When we picked them up from animal control, that was one of their procedures. They vaccinated them and gave them a homing device.
Before that?
Well, they had shots before that.
When they were, I think, like 8 weeks old or 10 weeks old.
So they
something
haven't
like
been to a
that.
vet since?
No illnesses, no reason to
No
take
illness. You do have a reason because the law requires that they be given a shot for rabies and distemper every year. That's the law. So after this incident occurred, the dogs were taken to quarantine.
Yes.
Unfortunately for you, because you didn't have to go through the procedure of those very, very terrible shots. The dogs did not have rabies, yes.
Your Honor, I guess what she saw when she drove by our house, we don't have a fence from the driveway. Our yard is completely fenced in.
From the back.
From the back of the garage all the way around, and I've got the pictures, we do. What happens is, even though that it's fenced in, we still do not let our dogs run loose in the yard because they are pit bulls. When I came home from work Thursday evening, it was dark, it was in November. I get off work at 6:30, it's approximately 10 minutes to 7. And when I pulled up in the driveway, Valerie and China came off the porch and came up to the car.
Your 2 dogs?
Yes. And I was like, what's wrong with this picture? You know, something is not right here. So I got the flashlight out the back of the back seat of the car, and I let them in the front door. And then I walked around to the back apprehensively and saw that the door had been kicked in.
Does the back door open to the backyard?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is fenced in?
Yes.
Well, so what you're saying is someone tried to kick in the back door.
Right.
Your dogs got out.
Right.
But if they got out, they would have been in a fenced-in yard.
Your Honor.
They would have been able to get out of the yard, actually. Jump the fence or whatever.
Well, that's... Put your hand down, madam, please. I see it up. If I haven't recognized you, there's a reason. Got it?
Yes.
We have a fence, but, you know, they can get out if they wanted to.
So what difference does it make if you have a fence?
Well, when we have our dogs, when we have our dogs out, they're on chains anyway, and they're not out unless we're at home, okay? And like somebody tried...
So the fence is useless?
Yeah, okay, you can say the fence is useless,
Okay.
yes.
Well,
I can
clearly
buy-
the
I can
fence
buy
was
that.
useless.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still there.
But it was useless because the dogs didn't go out the front door. The dogs went out the back door, right?
With
And
help.
if the dogs went back the back door, then the second line of defense is a fence. They can jump over the fence, as your husband says, then the fence is useless. So it's like having no fence.
Now, if we're at work and our dogs are locked in the house and somebody attempts to break in our house, Your Honor, I mean...
Yes,
what-
Miss Hughes.
Let me,
You just a second. Your point is someone tried to burglarize your house but was not successful, didn't take anything. Your dogs got out, and there was this very unfortunate incident, and you're really not responsible. Did you notify your homeowner's insurance? Do you have homeowner's
No.
insurance? You don't have homeowner's
No.
insurance. Well, you should have homeowner's insurance.
Animal control, when I got home, animal control left a thing on the doorknob, and it was very vague. It had nothing to say about, and it's right here, it had nothing to say that the dogs bit anybody or anything. You want it?
Yeah, just give him this.
Well, here, you can just have it. Here. And what happened was, at this point, I'm still not even knowing that anyone was injured. I'm just finding the dogs out. So then, when my husband came home from work, the neighbor across the street said that they did bite a little girl. So I'm on the phone trying to call up animal control to get to the bottom of this and what's going on and whatever.
Animal control had came out and left that on the door. And the two dogs were right out there in the yard when they was there, okay? And he was able to walk up, you know, from what the neighbor across the street told me. He had threw treats to him before he got out and then put the notice on the door, okay? So before she got bit, to me, it seemed like animal control should have grabbed them dogs, you know, because they weren't on the on chains or nothing like that. Not to say that they're to blame or anything like that. I'm just expressing that animal control did come when the dogs was right out there in the yard, but did not take them.
It's not animal control's fault that you had not, in violation of the law, had your animals vaccinated from the time they were puppies. It's not their fault that for 10 days she had to wait to see whether or not she was going to have to go through a very painful series of shots for rabies because you had neglected to follow the law. You do not have homeowners insurance, which you should have to cover such situations, because that's why people have homeowners insurance. And bottom line is, you have somebody who's innocent, who's walking down the street, not doing anything wrong, and she is attacked by animals that you own. She has to be compensated for that because she is the innocent person. And while I'm not saying that you are guilty criminals, I'm saying guilty on this side, innocent on this side. Someone has to pay.
Basically, when you have pit bulls, because of the word, because of the word pit bulls, it's hard to get homeowners insurance. Had it been a mutt, we probably wouldn't even have been here.
Then that's what you should have. Then that's what you should have gotten.
Give it police report.
You like dogs?
I love dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You don't just. I'm speaking. You don't just love pit bulls. You love dogs.
I love all dogs.
Okay.
Just like you
So
can be
if
a
it's
bad parent, you can be a bad pit bull owner, and we're not the ones
Listen
like
to
that.
me. There are some lovely pit bulls, I am certain. But when you use the word pit bull, it usually means people who have those dogs for protection. You chose to get a dog that has the reputation when they bite you, they hurt you. You have to pay the consequences of that. And if you can't get, if my homeowner's insurance company said to me, we'll give you homeowner's insurance, but we're going to cut your insurance if the dogs that you choose to get are pit bulls, I would get a different variety of dog rather than not have homeowner's insurance. That's easy. Okay. What were your out-of-pocket expenses?
For Carrie's coat, I had paid $25. The emergency room was $60. The emergency room doctors to look at Carrie was $60. Clarion Health Hospital charged $132. Carrie's personal physician was $45, which was a total of $362. And then just for emotional stress and damages, that was a total of $4,638. And I also wanted to say, you know, Your Honor, those two pit bulls attacked my daughter. One had one arm and one had the other arm. And when I saw my daughter, I could have cried, and I was scared because I didn't know. I still don't know what the extent of the damage is going to be. You know, she's got scars from that. You know, so far the doctor said everything is okay, but we don't know long term.
You still have visible scars?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you step up? I'd like to see them.
My shirt is kind of... This is where the dog locked on this arm.
Here?
It locked on this one right here.
Yeah.
And then these are just where I kept trying to move my arm.
Here, here, and here?
Yes, ma'am.
And here?
Yes, ma'am.
And here?
Not too much. Just a little one right here.
Put your jacket back on. While I don't think that she's going to have any long-term problem with movement or anything else, she's fine, but she clearly is going to be permanently scarred as a result of those bites. Yeah. I do find you, Mr. and Mrs. Hughes, reasonable people, but who did an unreasonable thing. You did an unreasonable thing when you failed to have your dogs vaccinated. That was just the start. By maintaining those two dogs, you had to take into consideration that if they did attack somebody, they were going to hurt them. They attacked somebody who was an innocent, had nothing to do with breaking into your house. And you anticipated that when you chose this breed of animal. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
2 vicious pit bulls on an attack. If they had been really vicious, you couldn't have stopped them.
When I got there, she had blood everywhere. Her arms were wrapped up. You know, she was crying and hysterical.
We keep them because we're in a very high crime area where they're always breaking in the house, drugs and all that.
I'm just glad it's over and I hope I never have to go through it again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Carney versus Valles, step forward, please.
83-year-old Juanita Carney is suing her granddaughter, 35-year-old social caseworker Josephine Valles, for car repair bills. Josephine says her grandmother repossessed the car. She's countersuing for the money she put into the vehicle.
Miss Carney, the defendant is your granddaughter.
Yes, she is.
You co-signed a loan for your granddaughter to buy a car. She did not have good enough credit to take out a loan herself. You say it was your agreement with her that she would work on clearing her credit so that eventually she could put the car loan in her name. She did not do that. And a year and a half after the car was purchased, you repossessed the car. When you repossessed the car, you had it fixed, and you spent $2,779 to fix the car. You want her to pay you back for the money that you spent to fix up the car. Your granddaughter is countersuing. She wants you to reimburse her for the down payment that she put on the car, which was $1,500, and for all the payments that she made on the car during the time that she had the car. Is that right?
Yes.
When was this car purchased, Miss Carney?
January of 99.
And when did you repossess the car?
September 2000.
Who maintained insurance on the car?
She did, but she dropped it in June of 2000.
Did you drop the insurance?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because she came and threatened to take the car from me. Because she wanted to take a loan out on her house, and she could not do that because my car payment was stopping her.
When you dropped the insurance on the car, did you continue to drive the car?
Yes.
Well, you can't do that. What kind of car was it?
It was a 98 Hyundai Elantra.
And how much was the total purchase price?
$12,092.
Did you make all the car payments on the car?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now, Miss Carney, you tell me why you repossessed the car.
During our transaction of the car, the salesman said that there was a mark in the credit report that he could not put it in her name. It had to be in my name solely. I asked her, are you willing to put it in your name once you clear up your credit? She said yes, because one of the black thing that's on the credit is a mistake, and I can clear that, and I'll be glad to do it. And with that promise, I went ahead and allowed it to be in my name, knowing that I could be liable if anything would happen. Right before repossession, I was told that it was wrecked, and she was still driving it around. So I repossessed it. I took the car to a repair shop, and I have the receipts for both of them.
Where is the car now, Miss Carney?
I resold it. I had to fix it, and somebody else did.
Just a second. You sold it?
Yeah.
What did you sell it for?
$7,000.
Who did you sell it to?
to my daughter's friend.
She's taking
Doing
over the
this?
payment. She didn't sell it. And the car was not wrecked when whoever picked it up took it.
Yes, it was.
Just a second.
There was nothing wrong with the car when it was taken from me.
Oh, my
I was at work, and when I went out, the car was gone. There was nothing wrong with the car.
Do you have photographs of the car when the car was taken?
No, I didn't take any. The only thing that was apparent was a broken windshield. It was cracked. But what made it so expensive is that both airbags were deflated.
Your problem is that you dropped the insurance and continued to drive in the car. And if you did that, that rendered your grandmother liable. If you had an accident and hurt somebody and the car is in her name, they can take her house, they can get a judgment against her. So in my judgment, she had an absolute right, based upon the fact that you had no insurance, even though she might not have known it at the time, to take back the car. So you acted irresponsibly. So on your counterclaim, you're getting nothing. My problem is, Ms. Carney, that you took it upon yourself to gratuitously fix this car. You can't render her liable for that. And you're not going to get any money either. Do you have a car now?
Yes, I do.
What kind of a car do you have?
A 2001 Hyundai Elantra.
How'd you get it?
I financed it in October of 2000.
So right after your grandmother took back this car? So that you could have done what your grandmother asked
Not
you
back
to do
in June, I
September.
couldn't have.
Well, did you call her in August and tell her you could do it?
No, I did
No.
not.
Your counterclaim's dismissed. So's your lawsuit.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Lockett, according to what I read in your complaint, you and the defendant have a long relationship dating back about 5 years. You have a 2-year-old child together. It is your claim that in 1997 you made a loan to the defendant. Again, in 1999 you made a loan to the defendant. Now that you are no longer a couple, you want those loans paid back. He is counterclaiming. He says you vandalized his car, and years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, you were using his car and got parking tickets. He wants you to pay those 4-year-old parking tickets, right?
That's correct.
Have you nothing better to do with your time? Tell me about this first loan in 1997.
In 1997, Mr. Perry and I worked at a company together, and I quit before he was fired, and he was caught stealing money from the company, and they had made an arrangement for him to make payments, and I used to go with him every week to drop off the payments because he was not allowed to set foot on the premises anymore. And after a while, he decided to stop making payments, and they demanded the money in full, and he asked me to loan him the money, and I did.
How much did you give him at that time?
$2,150.
Now, what arrangements were made to repay that money?
He was supposed to start making payments to me as soon as he got back to work, like within the next month or so.
Well, did he ever do that?
No, he never made any payments to me. He lost his job soon thereafter, and after that, he was fired from like 4 other positions, 2 for stealing apparel or money as well. And every time it was time for him to make a payment to me, there was always something else that he had to do with his money so that he could not pay me my money back.
So then you had a child with him?
We had a child together.
No, afterwards. After he lost all his jobs, you knew he caught stealing. Just listen to me. After you knew he got caught stealing, according to you, he promised to pay you back this money in a month, and he never did. So he didn't make payments in all of 1997. He didn't make payments in all of 1998. He lost all these jobs. That's why he didn't make payments. So then you decided to start a family together. Does that sound like very good judgment to you?
No, I was young, and I was in love. So no, it's not very good judgment, and I would be the first one to say that.
All right. When was the last time you asked him for this money?
The last time I asked him for the money, it was December of 2000. And we were on the phone talking, and I said, you know, it's entering another year. Do you think you could come up with some of my money? And he said, well, I don't plan on paying you anytime soon, and that the first time he would be able to make me a payment would be 2003 because he planned on giving me a lump sum of money. And that, okay.
Now, after 1997, and he didn't pay you back a penny, then, according to you, you lent him more money.
Yes.
When?
In 1999, he called me from jail. He had been arrested on a traffic violation of some sort. He said he had some of the money with him in jail, that he was going to be able to use some of that for bail money, and that as soon as he got out of jail, we were going to go to the bank. When I got to the jail, I bailed him out. His sister and I drove him to the bank. He made up some story about the police keeping his identification card, and he could not pay me the money back again. So after everything was over, he had a
it was a fine due for $300, and he refused to pay the fine. And he told me I should just go on and sign my bail money over too, and he would pay me back that at a later date. And I never signed.
So he had a fine.
A fine.
Of the same amount as your bail money, which is $300. So you just signed your bail
I
money.
didn't sign it over. I refused to sign it over. And after a while, they said if he didn't make payment, that it was going to be forfeit. So it was forfeit anyways. And he just never gave me the money back for that.
When you were arrested in 1999 on this traffic problem that you had, were you arrested in your car?
Yes.
What kind of a car were you arrested in?
It was not my car. It belonged to my sister.
Just a second. Was that my question?
You said what type of car? It was
Yeah, I didn't ask you whose car it was. I
Okay.
said, what type of car is
Make
it?
and model?
Yes.
89 Nissan Sentra, I believe.
The Toyota Camry. It was a Toyota Camry he was arrested in, a blue Toyota Camry.
Oh, yes, I remember it well. Do you currently own a car?
Yes, I do.
What kind of car do you own?
I own a black 1991 Eagle Premier.
How much did you pay for the car?
$2,500.
And what kind of work are you doing now, Mr. Perry?
I'm a market analyst.
You work for a company?
Yes,
How long have you been working for that company?
3 years.
Who has physical custody of your child?
Miss Lockett does.
Are you currently under a support order for your child?
Yes, I am.
Are you up to date in your support payments?
Oh, yes.
Is that correct?
No, he owes money on it still. He contacted me and told me they said they were going to garnish his income tax because he still owes back money on child support.
How much does he owe on his child support?
I don't know how much he owes on it. I don't know.
When did he start to make child support payments?
He started to make child support payments when my son was almost a year old, so he owed money from June. I didn't get my first payment until October of '99.
That's not correct, Your Honor. She's being dishonest at this point.
Okay, so there were a couple of months, but since October of 1999, he's been making the support payments.
Oh, it's garnished, so yes, I get it directly.
Oh, it is garnished,
yes,
right,
it
from
is
his
garnished
salary.
because he refused
oh,
to
that's
pay it.
perfect. All right, Mr. Perry, let's start out with this $2150.
Okay.
What company were you working for at the time that Miss Lockett indicates that you had some difficulty?
I should say, Your Honor, that Miss Lockett is making up the bulk of her story.
All right, what company was he working for?
Bagel.
Bagel. Where
Yes.
are they located?
It's in Rochester, New York.
And what was he doing there?
It wasn't as high as a manager, but he was in a position higher than me, so maybe like a key holder or something of that nature.
Okay. Do you remember the name of his immediate superior?
It was Ron, but he's no longer with the company.
That's convenient.
Oh, I'm good at this. Believe me, I'm good at this. Do you recall whether or not they reported this to the police?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Also very convenient. Sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Do you remember the entire amount that it was alleged he stole?
No, he never told me how much. He never told me how much money they said he stole.
Okay. Now, Mr. Perry,
Yes, Your Honor.
before I go and try to make heads or tails of this thing, why don't you tell me? You said there wasn't the whole truth about this incident at Bagel, but it was only partial truth.
No.
So tell me your version of what happened in 1997 when you worked for Bagel.
Your Honor, Miss Lockett is manipulating facts that have happened.
No, I'm asking you, just tell me what
There's
happened.
nothing that happened at Bagel. So to tell you, answer your question specifically.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened at Bagel. She can provide absolutely no documentation because there was never any incidents of me stealing money or doing anything of that nature at Bagel. I resigned from Bagel. She is lying. She cannot prove
Your Honor,
any
that's
of
not
the,
true.
anything that she is saying is
Okay.
totally a lie.
That-
As far as that goes, there is partial truth to what she's saying.
So then let me hear the partial truth before you irritate me and
I
I have
was-
to go investigate myself.
I was arrested on a traffic violation, and she did bail me out of jail.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, that's the only truth.
I'm talking about 1997, an alleged loan to you of $2,150.
That's all a lie. That's all a lie.
That's not true.
Okay. You have a bank withdrawal for $2,150
I have
on
a
or about
bank.
that time?
Yep, a bank statement that I withdrew.
Can I see it? Did you give that money in check or cash?
I gave it to him in cash. He went with me to the bank, actually. He picked me up from school and drove me to the bank so I can give him all of my money.
What's the area code in Rochester, New York?
716.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catrice Lockett says Jason Perry owes her for paying back an employer who accused him of stealing. Jason denies the charge and the loan.
Good morning. This is Judge Judy Scheindlin. I have a case before me that involves a former employee of yours. I don't know how long you've been there, but this person was employed back in 1997. Jason Perry, P-E-R-R-Y. Okay, great. I'm taking testimony now with regard to some money that he paid back to Bagel in October of 1997. A payment of $2,150. Is that right? Okay. What was the total amount it was alleged that he took? Do you remember? Right. Okay. You have been an absolute angel. Thanks, Lisa. Bye-bye. You stole $5,000. Your parents paid back the rest. $2,150 was paid by her. Do you? Because that was the last payment. According to somebody who has, in fact, been there for a very long time and knows you, sir. See what happens when you lie? You think I'm stupid?
No, but that's
Good.
not true.
So, it's not true. No, I called somebody and I said, listen, are you familiar with Mr. Perry? Oh, yes, I am. There an incident in 1997 with regarding some money that he paid back to Bagel? Oh, absolutely. Do you recall how much money he paid?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Judgment for the plaintiff on her complaint in the amount of $2,435. I'm not even getting into anything else with him, because once somebody lies, they don't get a second chance with me. Your counterclaim's dismissed, sir. That's all.
You may step out. I can't believe this.
Repossess the car.
Miss Chase, the defendants were friends of yours.
Yes.
And some time ago, you were talking about buying a new car. According to what I've read in your papers, the defendants suggested that they had a car, and if you wished to take over the payments on the car would be yours when the car was paid for.
Yes.
And you did take over the payments and take possession of the car.
Mm-hmm.
According to you, you made all those payments, and despite that, they came and repossessed the car. You won all the payments that you made the time that the car was in your possession. They say you were late with your payments and sometimes came up short, so they repossessed the car. Right?
Right.
When did you take possession of the car?
In May. I made the first payment in April, though.
And what were the monthly payments?
It was $387.68.
And how many months did you have the car?
From April till October.
7 payments you made in total. Did you pay by check or cash?
Cash, 1 check, and money orders.
Let me see the checks and the money orders.
It begins here. And it goes on to the other pages.
And how many payments do you claim that you received for the car?
I claim that she made all 7 payments.
Okay, so there's no dispute as to that?
No.
She made all 7 payments?
Right.
If she made all 7 car payments, why did you take back the car?
Because she made the payments, but she made them late.
Yeah.
And she also made them, she didn't pay them all in full. She was short.
But you said she made all the payments she was supposed to make.
She never paid the full amount each month, and she never paid it on time.
How much short do you claim she was?
Well, 1 month I got a check that was a $70 check that bounced.
Which month was that?
This was in August. When I called her and asked her about it, she said to talk to her boyfriend because it wasn't he owed her the money and it wasn't her responsibility.
Did she ever make up that check?
No. Her boyfriend did.
I don't care whether she or her boyfriend did. So you got the full amount for August.
No, I got that. First of all, the payments were late. Our agreement, I have a written agreement stating that if she was late, I would take the car back.
And that was a 5-day grace period.
How much do you claim she paid you in total towards the car in the 7 months she had the car, madam?
Probably.
Not probably. You must have a record.
I don't have a record because I've never given her a receipt because I've never seen her since June. So I couldn't have given her receipts.
Miss Brooks, I'm not asking you about receipts. If somebody is short when they give you money, then you keep a ledger. The ledger says, this is what she's paid me, this is what she owes me. What, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. I couldn't do that because, first of all, she never paid me. She paid my husband. She never paid my husband.
He's not allowed to talk. Right?
Okay, okay.
You're
Well,
doing
can I
all the
tell you-
talking.
Can I tell you how it started first so that you can understand where we're at right now? There's a situation
I
that
don't
gets to
care
this point.
about anything other than the car. You can't
That's
take
what
back...
I want to tell you about.
Go ahead.
Okay, what had happened was we have a written agreement here stating that if she was late on the car, we would, at any time after the grace period, we would take back possession of the car.
Which I never used the grace period
Excuse
at
me,
all.
it's my turn.
Well, then
Okay,
tell the truth.
then in July, she started making late payments. I would call her on the 5th and say, Tammy, if there's going to be a problem with making the car payment, you need to call me and let me know. She would call me the date of the thing and say, I need 5 more days grace period, I don't have all the money. So there was always a problem. So then there was a problem with reckless driving in the car. So we took the car back once. We had the car back in our possession for 1 week, and then we gave it back to her. Then when we gave her back the car, then the problems continued to start. So what we decided to do, I told her, Tammy, instead of making the payments, I said, bring me back the car. It's not working out because every time I would call on the phone, there was a verbal abuse. I'll pay you whenever I want to. It was a big
But
problem.
you can't take the car back and then not give her back any money.
I told her, when we got the car repoed, I said, I will give you $200, the money that you paid for this month, I will give it back to you in full. It's not working out. It's nothing but problems.
Just a second. So you were willing to give her back the money she paid for the last month and you were going to take back the car. What about some of the other money that she paid towards paying off your car note?
Well, we never asked for a down payment on the car. We've been paying on the car for 3 years.
Yeah. You've been paying on the car for 3 years and she paid on it for 7 months. But you have the car.
Right. We have the car, but it's not necessarily because of the car payment. It was because of what she was doing in the car. We could not be
That's right. Let us
responsible.
assume that you are correct, that she did not live up to her agreement to pay the note on time, and that at least 1 month she gave you a $70 check that bounced. It bounced, did it not?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that
But we
clearly
stick it on
is
her.
a late payment.
Correct.
Because it bounced. So that's in violation of your agreement.
Correct.
Fine. You take back the car. What you're suggesting is that when you take back the car, she loses all of her money. Is that what you're suggesting? You have the equity in the car. You have the car.
stereo.
I'm speaking. You're not going to get all this money back. I mean, you have to pay something. You had the use of a car for 7 months. How much do you think you should have to pay for your use of that car? Because you used it for 7 months. You're not going to get all your money back. That means you had use of a car for 7 months for free.
Okay, first of all, I used it for 6 months because I made the first car payment in April. I didn't get it till May.
6 months.
I don't know. I've never thought about it. I figured I should get the money that the payments that I put into it, I should get back.
That means you had free use of a car.
Can I just state one thing? Okay, the car, they did not repossess the car. They did not make payments to the finance company for 3 months. That's why it
Doesn't
was
make any
repossessed.
difference.
The
You
money I was
buy-
giving them, though, they weren't paying the finance company to the car.
Doesn't make any difference. You breached the agreement with them. You breached the agreement with them. They were within their rights to take back the car. You want me to read you the agreement?
No, I know
Well, you
what
know
the agreement is about, but the month that the check bounced is one of the months that they didn't even pay the finance company.
It has nothing to do with you.
Can I at least get my stereo out of the car?
Yes, absolutely. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Within 24 hours of the order, you will return the stereo to them. How much did you pay for the stereo, by the way?
$171 the receipt.
Okay, and I'm going to give you $100 per month for the 7 months that you paid for the car. That is what I consider your equity in the car. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700 plus the stereo. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
What, can you tell me how long the defendant was your boyfriend before he asked you for money?
Approximately 3 months or so.
And what did he tell you he needed the money for?
He didn't really say. He needed it for various things. He said one of the things he used money for was to pay his grandmother, who he lives with. And he just said that he needed money.
And what did you say?
I told him that since he had just gotten a checking account, I told him if he wrote me a check, I could deposit it and withdraw it immediately and give him the cash.
You had an ATM card?
Yes.
And did you do that?
I did.
When was the first withdrawal that you made?
The first withdrawal was on November 4th.
You have your bank statement?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please?
Sure. I also have the canceled checks.
I'd like to see those two. First one was November 4th, 2000. And how much did you take out then?
The first one was $100, and a little while after, he said he needed more on the same date, so he gave me another check for $100.
Okay. And then I see there's another check here the next day.
Right.
For $300.
Yes, he decided he needed more money for whatever, various things, and he asked me to do it again, and he assured me that his bank would cover it no matter what. So I did him that favor again.
Was he working at the time?
I believe he was.
Do you remember where he was working?
At a grocery store.
Did he ever give you the money back?
No, he didn't. He promised me that he would pay me back after I informed him that the checks came back canceled. But then the relationship started getting bad. He started getting verbally abusive and controlling, and we were heading towards a breakup, and he told me because he was getting aggravated with me, he wasn't giving me my money back ever.
You also say he has a jacket of yours.
Yes, he borrowed it and took it to Maryland to visit his mother and left it there and never gave it back to me. He said he would do everything he could to get it back, and he hasn't.
Go.
As far as the jacket, we traded jackets. I did leave the jacket in Maryland.
What do you mean you traded jackets?
We traded jackets. I had a South Pole jacket, and she liked it. She wanted to wear it, and I said, well, it was in the beginning of the relationship, so I said, well, if you give me your jacket, then we can trade.
Did she give you back the jacket that you were wearing that was hers?
No, she burned it with a cigarette.
Is that right?
Your Honor, I don't smoke.
Where is his jacket?
It's at my house. I told him he would get his jacket back when I get mine back. I had his jacket dry cleaned for him and everything because it was in dirty condition when I got it.
Your Honor, I was smoking a cigarette, and she had hated it when I smoked. So she took the cigarette and tried to put it out on the bureau, but I yelled at her, and she didn't say anything, but she just turned and put it out on the sleeve of the jacket.
Well, why don't you give her back her jacket?
Because she hasn't reimbursed me or returned my jacket. Also, I have attempted to get the jacket back into Massachusetts. My mother is handicapped now. She doesn't have the means to get to a post office to send it out or anything. She's been waiting for the time when my sister goes out there to visit to mail it back.
All right, we'll take care of the jacket. Now let's get to the money.
As far as the checks, I did write her the checks, of course.
Try looking at me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I want to see you looking at me when you tell me the story.
Okay. I wrote her the checks because she had an enormous debt in credit cards, and she was falling behind, and she asked me if she could borrow some money. So I wrote her the checks eventually because she kept hounding me, and I didn't have any money at the time. She didn't believe that I didn't have any money in the account, and also I have a ATM card. I have it with me. I have an ATM card that has a credit card logo on it, and she was convinced that it would just charge to my account. If I had written the checks and they bounced, it would just charge to my account, and she'd get the money, and we'd just pay it back later.
Your Honor, that's a lie.
Just a minute. So far, I'm not getting the whole story, sir. Come on.
You know, she deposited the checks, and it takes a few days to post to the account to clear through the bank and everything. She immediately withdrew the money, bought some money orders, sent them out to her credit card companies, and then a few days later, the bank realized that they were bound. There was no money to cover the checks, so they withdrew the money from the account.
Let me put this in shorthand. You say that you wrote out these checks to her knowing that you had no money in your account. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a crime. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know it before I just told you?
Yeah. I just wanted her off my back.
So in order to help her, you wrote her a series of bad checks. That's what you're telling me.
I wrote her the checks because she had been hounding me for almost a week.
Hounding. So you wrote her a series of bad checks to pay her credit card.
Right.
Is that true?
That is not at all true. When we went to the ATM together, he wrote the checks in the car. We drove to the ATM, and I took the money out of the ATM machine, and it passed from my hands to his, and I never saw it again.
Right, because that's the same date as the withdrawals, dates that you wrote the checks, right?
Yeah.
So what I have to do is now choose which story sounds more reasonable. Now, I could do that by doing those the way we used to choose, you know? Or I can just muster all of my judicial skills, all of my common sense experience, and say that your story sounds a little fishy to me. And if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. Now let's get to your counterclaim. now that I have disposed of the $500 that you owe her, you are countersuing her for thousands of dollars because you say she harassed you at your job. You working at a grocery store?
Yes, ma'am.
Costing you thousands of dollars in lost wages.
No, it was $1,000 lost wages.
And what was the other $2,000 for?
Things that she had charged on my credit card.
So let's get to the harassment first. So you're saying that she was harassing you at the grocery store you were working while you were dating?
Yes.
So get over it. If you're still dating, evidently you didn't find that too much of a harassment.
No, I was trying to convince her not to come down so often. And not
So after you tried to convince her not to come down too often and she came down, you still went out to dinner, went to the movies, did whatever you wanted to do. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So forget it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Heather Watts says ex-fiancé John Sanderson deposited bad checks into her account and then withdrew the money.
What she charged on your credit cards?
A sweatshirt, a couple of remote control cars. For her nephews for Christmas, she needed to borrow money.
Did you ever charge anything on his credit card?
No, he bought me a sweatshirt and he bought me a Walkman, and they were both gifts offered by him.
Right here.
Let me see.
One of my receipts, one of my statements.
Do you have
I
other
actually,
statements?
Filed for
do you have other statements?
other statements. Yes, I do.
Well, other statements that you wanted me to look at. Okay, you have here written actual amount for a Walkman, $102,
Yeah.
and general merchandise, $83.97.
Yes.
She says you gave her this Walkman as a gift.
No. Her Walkman
Your Honor,
that she had.
I had a very good Walkman. It was practically in brand new shape, and I gave him that, and he bought me a new Walkman. So the Walkman I gave him was practically brand new. So it was almost like a trade-off, and it was a gift from him.
The Walkman that she had previously.
Yes.
It wasn't working well, and she wanted a new one, and I said, all right, let's go to Radio Shack and get one.
Oh, fine. So you bought her a Walkman. Perfect. And actual amount for radio-controlled car for her nephew,
Yeah.
$83.97. What is that?
I don't know. I know he bought himself a radio-controlled car. He brought it to my job and to my house.
I bought myself one also.
Get out of here.
No.
Mr. Sanderson, Mr. Sanderson, let me tell you something, sir. You're a really good fibber.
But I really did get her that
Really,
car.
really.
Really.
Just like you really, really wrote these bad checks, right?
Yes.
Right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Your counterclaim is dismissed. I don't know if you're ever going to get your jacket back. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we're his. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She totally reversed everything, turned everything I said into a lie.
I just think Judge Judy's a great lady, and she did a good job.
And now the next case.
All parties on Green versus Comer. Step forward, please.
24-year-old cocktail waitress Amanda Breen is suing her former friend and roommate, 26-year-old cosmetologist Tennille Comer, for unpaid rent and bills. Amanda says when Tennille began dating her ex-fiancé, she asked her to move.
Briefly, Miss Breen, according to what I've read in your complaint, you and the defendants were friends and roommates. You were engaged when you moved in together or when you were living together. That engagement terminated.
Yes.
Then there came a time that your friend and roommate started to date your former fiancé.
Yes.
That created a certain amount of friction.
Yes.
And you decided ultimately to give her a choice.
Yes.
Either she moved or you were going to move.
That's right.
She moved, you claim, owing you some rent and other assorted bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when did you give her this ultimatum?
It was October of 2000.
And how did you communicate that with her?
There was a letter that I wrote to her. I spent 3 days compiling a letter letting her know how I felt about the situation.
Do you have the copy of that letter?
No, I did not take
Do
a
you
copy
have
of
a
it,
copy?
unfortunately.
May I see it, please?
Sure. On page 4, it's highlighted where she states that if I move out, she cut her losses, I pay nothing.
No,
That's her
it says,
Shh.
it says that if I move out.
Just a minute. When did you ultimately move out of the apartment?
Middle of November.
Did you pay November's rent?
No, I did not.
Excuse me, Your Honor, I may shed some light into that.
I didn't ask you a question yet.
Okay.
Amanda told me that if I would move out, I would pay nothing. She also told me that if I would move out, her mom would pay my half of the rent until she found a new roommate. In the letter, she states that if I move out, she cuts her losses, I pay nothing.
No, that's not what it said. She says, I'll cut my losses. So you stayed until mid-November.
She actually
Now-
was there until the 27th of November. Was the last day she moved her stuff out.
Is that right? 27th of November?
No, it was the middle of November, Your Honor.
What?
That's a lie because
Don't say lie.
I was at Amanda's house.
I assume you're her mother.
I am, and I was at Amanda's house the day that Tennille signed off on the lease, and she looked right at me and said, I signed off on this lease. I owe this money. Amanda's not going to get stuck paying it no matter what. I was there to make sure that she didn't take things of Amanda, help Amanda move things into her bedroom and lock it up because Tennille was taking things from her. And she called her father while she was there and said, Daddy, I don't have to move out today.
It doesn't make any difference. She was there past the first of the month.
Exactly.
She's there past the first of the month. And this way, well into the month, it seems to me she has to pay rent. Now, you said something very respectfully you want to contribute, so I'll let you stand up here. You are former fiancé, current boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your name?
My name's Brian Hansen.
So what do you know?
I received a phone call in November from Amanda stating that if I would get Tennille out of the apartment, that the rent would be waived.
No phone call.
And
Never
all
happened.
all bills, everything owed, it would be waived.
So she made this arrangement with you,
Yes.
but she had no such conversation with the defendant.
Yes, she did.
When?
November 10th.
No. On November 10th, she sat in my living room and
No,
told me she knew it was her obligation to pay
I
the
don't
money.
understand that. Why would she have a discussion with you waiving the rent for November when you were still living there in November and you were
Because-
planning to move?
Because she wanted me out of the apartment. There had
You
been,
wanted to be out of the apartment, I assume.
No.
She chose to move out.
I did choose,
Now you can sit down because I wasn't addressing you.
I did choose to move out. It was a hostile environment. I don't know.
Right. Nobody wants to live in a hostile environment. And you have to pay rent. November. How much was the whole rent?
The whole rent was $745. There was a late fee that I was charged because her half was not paid, and the total that I had to pay to keep my apartment was $398
For her half.
for her half.
Okay.
Correct.
Was there ever a discussion, Ms. Comer, that you did in fact owe certain monies for past bills?
Yes.
She outlines a couple of things here. Still owe me $192.49.
That was grocery shopping, stuff for redecorating the apartment, trips to Costco for household items that I had receipts stapled together on the fridge, and she went through them in June and left me this note with how much she owed me.
Let me see.
In her handwriting.
Okay. Because that will make it easier. Otherwise, I would tell you just forget about it.
And that's the only proof I have left of it, was the note she left me in her handwriting.
Okay. Did you pay her any money towards this account after June 13th?
I'm looking for that. No, I paid $170.36 on 5/25.
No, 5/25. I said after 6/13.
No.
Your Honor, may I approach?
No.
I just don't understand why she would write me this letter saying that these bills are wiped away.
Well, I read the letter very briefly, Ms. Comer, that said how hurt she was that as a friend and a roommate, you chose to enter a relationship with her former fiancé within weeks of their breaking up, and she was very, very hurt. And let's quote exactly what she says here. If you give me the money you owe me, I'll move out. I'll cut my losses, pay you nothing, and you get all your expletive deleted out of my apartment ASAP. And if you don't have your stuff out by November 30th, I have plenty of people who will want to come over here and help me get rid of you. I refuse to live with someone I can't trust, and trusting you is a joke. So if you're asking me why she might have said something that you interpret as, I'll forgive all the money that you owe me, she did it because she was clearly angry and hurt. Ms. Breen, on the flip side,
Yes.
better now than later.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Affairs of the heart are a very, very difficult thing. I'll tell you that I don't believe that these two people decided to hurt you intentionally by entering into a relationship together.
Right.
I don't think that that's how
No.
it started. I absolutely understand the nature of your letter, but you have to understand that they're probably not bad people. They just got caught up in a relationship, and somebody had to get hurt. But I don't think the design of it was to hurt you.
No.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay. Does she owe you any other big bills?
The phone bill came up to $173.13 total. Half of that was $86.57. I have the bills here showing.
Show them to her.
I have the bills here showing exactly how much is doing. Statement ending November 28th, which she moved out November 30th.
Very
So
good. She clearly
it is
doesn't
still
want
her
to handle anything. Would you
responsibility.
take care of that, Judy?
No problem.
And sorry. And in order for the phone to not be disconnected, I eventually did have to pay the entire
Okay.
amount.
Pay attention.
Okay.
Those are for June, July, August, September, October, until November 28th. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. What else? Did you pay this bill?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. What else?
108.52 for the PUD. And
What is
then-
that?
That's our power, our electricity.
Show it to her, please.
June through November, the total owed was 217. What does it say? 03, and I divided that in half. Half of it owed by her.
Any question about this bill?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. 774.
774. That's very close to what I came up with as well.
Move on.
Move on.
Good.
Definitely.
Good luck. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $774. That's all.
Parties are
Thank you.
excused. You may step out.